Well, elderly people, as anywhere in the world, become a burden. And, the whole tradition and life of the village in Africa has changed over the last 2 decades especially, where elderly people in the traditional context of Africa were always supposed to be looked after by the village. When you reach a certain age and you're incapacitated or you're just old, it was your right to be fed, to be taken care of. That's changed as there's migration to urban areas. The elderly have been left behind. It takes a tremendous amount to feed them and look after them now, and the young people are leaving. Those who remain with them find it a burden, and so we are looking just to take care of some of the needs of the elderly, things that they don't have, that we take for granted in our daily lives, like clothes, soap, salt, sugar, just the ability to continue looking after themselves without being totally dependent upon their children and their grandchildren. So there's been a huge shift, a huge dynamic change in Africa, and the elderly have become a real burden, and they just pushed to the fringes of society and fringes of the village. And as you'll see, there's been tremendous suffering. A lot of them don't get a square meal, certainly a day, perhaps a whole week they don't get a good meal. And so we try to augment by supplying the rudiments of life, a good meal now and again, clothes, the wherewithal, so that they could at least have a little bit of a more comfortable life and enjoy the Lord in the last years of their living.
We have done the door-to-door inquiry. We have a lot of findings. Among them, we noted that the old people in Malawi live in a very, very pathetic situation. Most of them have no financial support. They live a life that is characterized by poverty. They have no decent housing. They have no food, no clothing. Besides, they have problems to access health facilities. Usually, they are not fit to walk longer distances. As a result, they cannot access most of the health facilities that are available in the country. That aside, most of them are also discriminated against. When one grows old in Malawi, you are deemed to be a witch. Everybody thinks you are into witchcraft. So these are some of the problems that old people in Malawi go through. And these are some of the findings that we came across when we moved around door to door in Sanje district.
My name is Zizwa Mauluga. I have been at Kalibo Academy for 4 years and I'm 15. I think the meaning of this project is to bring back, let Malawians know who the elderly are and why we should take care of them. That's why Kalibu and the students have brought about this project, to tell people, to inform people of the difficulties, the dangers, and the problems that elderly people in Malawi, not just in Malawi, but in the world and Africa face.
As students, we have been involved in this elderly project on Saturdays, we have church services which people donate money which goes straight to the old people. And also we have fundraising concert which raise money which goes straight to the old people. And also other students who can donate clothes which they feel they no longer want to wear. And some also donate small portions of food like rice, sugar and salt. If it was my grandmother, I would feel so responsible, because it's my responsibility to take care of my own grandmother. It only does not fall under my grandmother, but also other old people who need my help. In Mark 12, verse 30, the Bible says that, love the Lord your God with all your strength, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. So if you love God with all your heart, there's no way you're going to face these old people suffering because you love God, and also God says you should love your neighbors. And it's actually a good thing giving help to these people, as they see your love, they actually get the testimony that God is alive, and therefore their faith in the Lord is developed. Well, the situation of old people in Malawi is really bad, because these people do not have anyone to supply them with basic needs, such as nutritious food, such as good shelter, such as proper clothing, and also good water supply. So they need the help from us, young generation, to help them, because they are not physically fit to do this on their own. And also many young people in Malawi discriminate old people, as they feel that they cannot do anything to their lives. They just feel that these people are useless, they are old, they are filthy, and it's really a bad thing. And most people in Malawi think that old people are witches here.
You would be interested to know that there is no policy for the elderly in Malawi. Hence, when somebody grows old, you look after yourself. Besides that, not many people are very happy to associate themselves with the old people. When somebody grows old, you are associated with many things. So usually when you get old, people stay away from you in Malawi. We need the younger generation to be involved in this project for one simple reason. We want them to grow up with a spirit of social responsibility. Once they grow up, they should have the passion and the love for the old people. You know, the problem is most of the young generation, they don't like to be associated with the old people. But we are saying no, they have a responsibility to look after their grandparents. That's why we are fully involving students of Karibu Academy, so that once they grow up in the future, they begin to live their own lives. They should remember the old people. By the time they begin to man their own life, they should have seen how people are struggling in the villages. And hence, that will remind them something. When they have money, they'll say, wait a minute, the old people struggling with life in the villages. Why don't we go and give them a hand? That's why we are fully involving the young children at Karibu Academy just for that purpose.